Hello and welcome back to the Freedom Network. My name is Troy Colmer, and what we stand for and our values are strength, honour and integrity. And our mission for you, for the Freedom Network is for you to become self-empowered and limitless. That's who we are and what we're about. So I've got my good mate here again, Craig Harris, the personal trainer expert.
Thanks for having me.
Are you still doing any personal trainings for people? Or?
Not really now.
But people should go and follow you. How would they follow you if they wanted to? Would they just look you up on Facebook or?
No, I don't really.
You don't really do much on there?
No.
Maybe they just follow on the Freedom Network and...
I think so, with the plan, yeah.
Come and see me.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a bit of a private guy like I used to be.
Yeah, I do like to keep cards close to my chest.
Isn't it funny that because I'm so anti-establishment, because I know how much they are ruining the world, and I know that they control all the social media, all the media, everything. But now I have to be part of it.
Yeah. Well,
I have to be.
You've got to conform to that.
I've got to conform to it.
Yeah. To get your message across.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be out on their platforms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to make people aware of what's coming and what's happening.
Are you saying in regards to like your privacy and everything, put yourself right out there?
Yeah. And because it doesn't make sense to me that people need to know that, I suppose they need to know that you have got values. Yes, that's probably right. But, what you do on a weekend or what you do for, have coffee or, what you eat for breakfast or, it's just, that sort of thing never, I just don't get it, why you need to do that.
Yeah, well, I suppose that's just human nature, isn't it? The way they created it, because look, that's why Facebook and Instagram became so successful, because people were happy to put their lives on display.
Yeah, and now the programming is that people just expect that now.
Yeah, and if you don't conform to that, then you get left behind. And people probably consider, if you don't want to make anything public, that you've got something to hide.
Yeah, that's what it is, isn't it?
Yeah.
This guy must be a crook.
Yeah. Well, because there's so many rip-off agents and charlatans around.
Yeah.
Everybody that's what people just assume straight up.
Yeah. But is there as many as we think?
Yeah, well, who knows?
Who knows? We don't know, do we? We're
just told.
We're
told. You just got to use common sense, don't you? Most of the time,
yeah.
You can pick us.
Because you know what? I thought that in my brain, which is, I thought that if I help people in real time, there's no therapy person that's got the FEB controlled ticket is going to show you in real time someone being healed, say from anxiety or stress or something,
right,
within hours, really. And I thought that if I can show people in real time, that how this works, that people would go, oh, right, yeah, that really does work. No.
People were still sceptical of it.
They still say, no, we want to see what coffee you drink, Troy.
Yeah, right. Wow.
Yeah, we want to see do you walk in the morning?
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's pretty sad the way it's gone down, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's just like, how on the other podcasts that we did, and we say everything's right in front of you, but you just don't see it. And I think that this is right in front of you now for all the people,
Well, it always has been, hasn't it?
Yeah.
Really. And
it's just, I still find it hard. And being for me too, this has been extremely tough for my mindset to comply, to comply to the Facebook and the Instagram and all these things because I did like being a private person. I did like it, but now I've realised that Troy, you are on a global mission.
Right.
You don't matter now. I don't matter now because it's just too big. Like this mission is too big for It's not about me. It's not about it's not like your life doesn't matter. Your life does matter. But all that stuff, it does not matter. Because what we're about to lose is way more important. Like humanity, like we are right on the cusp. Like we have to come up with some serious decisions some serious choices.
Well, people have to become aware of what's going down, what's coming, don't they, really?
If we choose, we have to make the choice to either pick the new road now to start on this journey because we haven't got long, or we stay on the FEB journey, on the controlled path, and just take what's going to come. And for me, I just see that, like I'm picturing my children's children. Like what future are they going to have? What exactly. Even future is my children going to have? Even though they're in their 20s now, but they've still got a lot of years ahead of them. And for me, I've still got a lot of years too. So
if you're going to 150.
Yeah. And so I want to have the best life, but it has to be more than that. Like it has to be more than what for me.
Right. I see what you're saying.
For my life,
Yeah.
And this is the big problem that I find, and especially for people at our age and above, that they, like you say this to them, like about the mission, and they go, well, what's it matter to me? That's bad luck for them.
It's never going to happen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
You hear that a lot.
Yeah.
Don't you,
Well, I don't care. I'll be dead by then.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's a pretty selfish way of looking at life, isn't it?
And that's disgraceful. Like I would be disgraced if I said that to myself.
Yeah.
Like if those words come out of my mouth, I would bitch slap me that hard.
Well. Yeah.
Like that's actually disgraceful. I think for those words to come out of somebody's mouth.
Yeah.
Like how selfish is it for that? You've got children, and they're going to have children, and you don't care. Like really? That's not right, is it?
No, it's pretty ignorant.
Oh, mate.
But I think the word is selfish, isn't it? Absolutely.
Yeah. So we need to stop that. For starters, we need to not use those words. And I can understand that because life is tough, life's and a lot of people have had a tough road, and now they're getting towards the end of the road, and they're going, you know what, just screw all them, and I want to take it easy now.
Right.
But the thing is, what's coming is only years away. Like they're telling us within the next 3 to 5 years, the world that we live in is going to be completely different, if we don't start getting on this road. So in this podcast that we're doing today, we're going to be talking about the mission and the plan that, like, we need to have a plan for us to go to as well. But this is going to be a series because I want to show you all the research that I've done and give you sites for you to go to and do your own research so that you can make the decision. So then you can be informed. And then you go, okay, then, look, I don't even care. I'm just going to go down this road and bad luck. Because this other road, the mission that we're on road is quite tough as well. Because it does take time out of our life. And because just us, we could be out surfing. So, but it is like we are.
But we're trying to live the best lives that we can because we're aware of the life we can have out of the system.
But we could, if we wanted to.
Oh, yeah. We could be part of the club, couldn't we?
We could be part of the club and couldn't care less.
Yeah, and not share it like it has been. But then we end up where we are and it's only for a select few and the rest sort of are left behind. But we don't want a situation. Although we are like that when it comes to surf spots.
Yeah, well, that's true, isn't it?
But yeah, I don't know. But yeah, it's just something that's probably innate in the way you are, isn't it? You're going to share it round and you believe that sharing is caring, or you're just going to keep it to yourself.
But we really need, I think at this point in time, so I don't know if you believe it, but from all the research I've done on all the ancient knowledge and all the religions and all the things that say that we do have a soul, and this is my personal belief. So this is not from, we can't actually research this because we don't know until we get to the end and if there is something to go to. So my personal belief is that when you are born, we're just the vehicle, and then the soul comes in. As soon as you take your first breath, the soul comes in to the vehicle, and then we go through this whole journey of thing called life and of experiences. And then you get to experience all of those things, and you choose this journey apparently that you're meant to go through. And then at the end, you have your breath. Because I've seen two people take their last breath, and I've seen 3 people take their first breath. So I've experienced it. And when you take your very last breath when you're dying, it's just like and then the body's empty, like there's nothing. And so I believe that all those experiences and things are logged through time, through our file system that we talked about. And it just goes off, and then, and if you don't accomplish what you're meant to accomplish in that time frame, you have to redo it again. I think this is my personal belief.
In another vehicle.
Yeah.
Right.
And then you keep going back.
Right.
To redo it because you missed the journey.
Right.
But if you get to complete the journey that you're supposed to be on,
right,
you get to go to another dimension or something like that, and then go to a different journey, different height.
Right.
But you can't move on until you complete what you're meant to do.
Right.
And so
how do you know what you're meant to do?
Well, this is the thing. I think the only way you can know is through your own intuition. So like you and I sitting here now, like we know this is what we're meant to do.
Right.
Like we know this is right.
Because do you reckon it's like a satisfaction?
No, I don't know. I don't know if it's satisfaction or it's just because a knowing. It's just, I think
it's a feeling.
Yeah, but I even think it's even more than a feeling. I don't know. Like, yeah, I don't know. And I think that a lot of times you're getting pushed to go into a certain direction, and maybe when you're manifesting things and life's not going right, I think it's telling you, no, you're not you got to go this other direction.
Right.
And because when we come into the vehicle that we're in now for manifesting, the journey that we're on is the free will, and part of the program is the program can't override. Free will is the top. And so when we come in, we've got a thing called free will, which overrides all programs. And so that must be part of the learning. I don't really know why that is, and I think the free will is so that it can download the programs for your journey. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, but I'm thinking that's the journey. And so what I'm saying is that, say for instance, that was correct. So what I'm asking is, say for you, for instance, if you chose for this is a very critical time in history. This is an extremely critical time in history where we've only got a few years to make a decision on this journey. Like we have to make, either we create this movement or we go on this other journey. And so all the people that are at this time, the question is have they come in for this journey to be able to change the future of the globe?
Right.
It's a big thing.
Yeah, it's pretty big, isn't it?
It's a big question.
Yeah.
It's a big question. And so the thing is, if you look back over previous history, I believe all our history is a lie anyway, because it's all to program us to what they want us to believe. But I mean, what happened to the Mayans? What happened to that generation? What happened to them? What happened to all the people that built the pyramids? What happened to them? You know, all those things that happened over thousands of years. What happened to all of those people?
Yeah.
Like their technologies and all those things. What happened to them? Yeah. what I'm saying, are we at the end of time now
Yeah.
where we're at the same point where something big is coming and we all have a chance, an opportunity to create this very powerful movement to change the trajectory of the Earth's plane through our vibration?
Otherwise, in the future, everybody will be going, what happened
Well,
to those people?
do we
in
have
the
to go
20s?
back and do the last 2,000 years again?
Right. Oh, wow. Like reset it.
Reset. They keep saying about the Great Reset. So they're telling us there is a Great Reset, right?
But what is the Great Reset?
Well, they're resetting it to what they want.
Right.
The FEB. They're resetting it to what they want.
Yeah.
But we know that it's a program, right? And we know that we can manifest. And we know that we can heal ourselves. And we know that we have all the power. And we know that we're powerful people. We know all this. And so that means that we know that we can change the trajectory of the Earth through vibration, because everything's just about vibration. So we can all, as a collective, raise our vibration and show the finger to the FEB. Couldn't we?
Yeah, as long as you've got a plan to go to.
Yeah. But before the plan, do you think, what I'm saying is, do you think that everybody at this time frame has chosen to come into the vehicle? If all that's right, if all what I'm saying is right, I mean, it could be totally airy-fairy, but if it's right as a thought experiment, that if you choose your journey, so every soul that's come in to this time frame has come to change this trajectory of the Earth.
Right.
Do you think that could be possible?
Well, I think anything could be possible.
Yeah.
But, yeah, people have got to be aware of what they're capable of and how they can change things.
But do you think that if they ask themselves that question?
Which is what we're trying to point out to them. Because at the moment, everybody's so indoctrinated because it's been going on for so long.
Yeah, 2,000 years.
Yeah, so that's a lot of information of the same side being passed down and passed down. That's why it's such a hard, I suppose you could call it a hard sell, or even just to get people to think like the way we do. Like, which is just a little bit of open-mindedness. And
it's a funny thing, open-minded, isn't it? It's a funny, it's funny wording.
Not just believing one side of things is really what it is.
And people say, oh, why would they even do that? And in that last podcast that we did, you made a very valid point about the surf spot. And I never really thought about it until you said that, of why you would want to lose something. Like, imagine now in our surf spot, everyone got onto it.
Oh.
And then every time we went, there was 100 people out there.
We'd be devoted. We'd be going, remember the time when we used to come up here together?
We'd be crying, and we probably wouldn't even go out.
No, to me, that'd be the experience gone. So I'm not going to paddle out there with 100 other dudes and hassle for waves or whatever. That's not what it was about. Yeah,
and so that question is, why would they do it? And I think that's why.
It's exactly the same, but just on a bigger scale.
Well, it's a human scale.
Yeah.
And it's like they're obviously the evil scale. They're not for good.
Well, they're just for themselves, aren't they?
Yeah, and I suppose that we class things as evil. We put that on, don't we? Good and evil. Yeah,
I suppose we look at it as evil because we're not part of the club, and it's to our detriment that they're...
Yeah, we're the slaves.
We're the slaves.
The slave system, I call it.
And because they don't really consider us. So, because they've left us behind, and for whatever reason, because we're not part of that club, and they're not going to share that spot. Yeah. Simple as that, really, isn't it?
So it is a very valid point. So when people say, why would they do it? That's why.
Oh, exactly.
And I really didn't have an answer for it. And I went, well, just because they're evil, but it's because they don't want to give up their spot. Yeah. They don't want to give up their surf spot.
They don't want to share the good deal that they've got going down.
Yeah, at the detriment of everybody else.
Yeah, whereas, like, they always say there's ample for everybody to have a great life.
Yeah.
But why wouldn't they share it around so everybody could have a great life? But they just want to dominate it. It's like you said about the YouTubers, and you go on there and they talk about whatever. They're just there to try and make an income out of you. That's why they leave that last little bit out.
Yeah.
And like you were saying, you haven't got a circle, you've got a line.
Yeah.
So you've got to go to them and buy their product to get your circle.
Yeah.
And that circle mightn't even work for you.
Yeah.
But they don't care because they've sold the product to you.
Yeah. But even when they sell the product, there's still a bit of the circle missing.
Yeah, so you got to keep on going back.
Yeah.
It's like anything in life, isn't it? That's the perfect business model.
Yeah.
Like if you buy something and then go away and you don't come back again,
yeah,
it's like in the old days when you used to buy a washing machine, like a mechanical washing machine, it'd keep going forever. You'd have it for 40 years.
Yeah.
But not a good business model.
No.
Now you buy it and the mentality is when it craps out in 10, 15 years, if you're lucky, you just throw it out and go back to that dude and buy a new one.
And talking about that just comes to my mind too when you're just talking about the mentality and how we're programmed, is that, now with TikTok and scrolling and all of those things, that everything's come down to a minute or 30 seconds or 20 seconds or 10 seconds. Like people have lost the ability to focus for any length of time.
Oh, absolutely.
And so now everything, like even, I do Troy's live for 5, but 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Lisa said, you need to do 1 minute, like no more than 1 minute. And like, what can you do in a minute?
You barely do your intro.
I can barely say my name's Troy Colmer in a minute. But so in 5 minutes, I'm really like, I'm stretching myself. I'm going, geez, 5 minutes. Well, what can I say in 5 minutes that's going? Because I want to be impactful.
Yeah.
Like I want to be impactful because this is like an extremely important mission that for myself. And I mean, I'm so thankful that you've come on the journey too to help me. And I know that there is a cost to it. I know that, like this journey, there is a cost because when you raise your vibration and the people around you haven't raised up yet and they haven't got to that level of thinking, it does cause friction in the family.
Oh, absolutely.
And so there is a cost, and I'm very grateful that that you're helping me with that. So thanks.
Oh, no worries.
And I think too that's why a lot of people don't want to do it as well, because there is a cost.
Yeah.
There is a cost to it.
Yeah.
There is a cost to going outside the box.
But in the end, if you make that initial sacrifice, then it's going to pay off.
In droves,
because
mate.
then everybody will see you at whatever you call it, a higher plane or next level or whatever, and they're going to go, wow, I want a piece of that action.
Yeah, but what do they say though? I could never do that.
Yeah.
I couldn't do what you do.
Yeah.
I couldn't do that.
Or
it's all right for you.
It's all right for you. That's the classic I've lived my whole life, like hearing, that's all right for you.
Yeah.
You've been doing it your whole life, whether it's training or experimenting with different.
Yeah, because you're always been upgrading. You're always upgrading yourself.
Well, you're always trying, like we always say, we're always looking for something to try and improve ourselves and improve what we get out of life, whether it's exercise or food, travel, whatever. You're like, you do one awesome holiday and wow, before you get home, you're thinking about the next awesome holiday that you can plan. And everybody goes, oh, wow, you're going on another trip.
Yeah.
Sort of thing, and you're going, oh, yeah, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, why wouldn't you? And
because everything's an experience, and like we always say, the more you do experiences, the more confidence you get.
Yeah.
And like you, when you went to South Africa, bing, 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 you're picking off all the good rooms everywhere you go. Why wouldn't you go back?
Yeah, that was, oh man, that was next level. And so, yeah, this mission that we're on, like, it's so incredibly important that people ask the question,
Well, at least consider.
Ask the question. Like, am I here? If Troy is correct, what he's saying, that we come in at this time frame, like, am I here to help? Am I here to help change this globe? Like, more than you, more than me, more than you. Am I here to help the whole humanity as a whole to go into another dimension, to upgrade to another dimension. Like you think about it. Like if you think about 7 billion, imagine we talked about this before. If a 7 billion people all of a sudden discovered that they can manifest things in their lives by doing those exact 5 things that we talked about in the last podcast, they can manifest things in lives. And this plan, so you need the plan to go to. And so if you're coming into the body, you know, just ask the question anyway. What I'm sort of saying is, for everybody, just ask the question. For humanity, like 7 billion people, like imagine how good it could be if they learnt all those things, you know, the manifestation, and they learnt the programming, you know, how you can reprogram your default mode, and how you can re-heal yourself, and how if you do a little bit extra each day, how much better you can be by the end of the year over time, because the future's coming towards you. So if you do a little bit, you've climbed the mountain.
Yeah.
Like
absolutely, you get that momentum and it snowballs. And
yeah. And
like
so
we were talking before, if you just get those little wins and you get your confidence up and you go, wow, this really does work. Because that's the thing, it's so simple but so hard.
Yeah, but imagine 7 billion people.
Oh, wow.
Imagine if 7 billion people on the planet all knew all those things.
Yeah. But that's when you talk to people about it and they, like, you know, they just go, well, what difference can I make? But if everybody made a little bit of a difference...
Everybody makes a difference.
It's like if everybody went and swept their front yard or their driveway or anything, the world would look amazing, wouldn't it? Yeah. But if you and I keep our place looking neat, it's not really going to make a dent. But if everybody kept their place looking neat, mint, then off we'd go. It'd be amazing. Yeah. So, and once you keep your place in check, then everybody else goes, oh, they drive past and go, oh, wow, that looks good. And it's contagious, because when yours looks good, then the neighbour comes home and goes, oh, geez, mine's looking a bit shabby. Yeah. And then you'll see him get out with his mower. Exactly. It happens every Sunday afternoon. And everybody's sitting there going, oh, wow, maybe I should get out and do my lawn.
Geez, my lawn's looking pretty shabby. I better get out and...
Yeah, so it's
because nobody wants to be the shabby one.
Yeah, nobody wants to be the shabby. But it's what FOMO's about, isn't it? They invented that acronym.
Yeah.
So, because fear of missing out on things. Yeah. Like if you and I go away and have a great trip, everybody's going, oh, wow. Yeah. Craig and Troy, they're doing some great trips lately. Let's get onto their action. Or you buy a new car and everybody goes, oh, wow.
And so, so we're getting back to the mission. Like, this is why everybody makes a difference. Like exactly what you said about the lawn, about everyone sweeps their yard out the front or mows their lawn. If everyone starts doing it, you don't need to do a lot. No. It's not like you and me where we are doing a lot. Like we are, we're doing a lot of work to help people to manifest, learning all these skills in manifesting and self-empowerment and to become limitless, you know, and create these virtues of being strength, honor, and integrity. You know, we are doing a lot. Like, it's costing a lot. It's costing us a lot to do this. But we're not asking for everybody to do that. We're not asking for that.
Well, some people just aren't ready, and you can tell it.
But they can be ready for a little bit, though.
Yeah. But some people just aren't ready at all. Like you hear them talk and the way they walk the walk or whatever. Yeah. You know that. Wow. Even not that you're wasting your breath, but you just go, oh wow, I'm going to be beating my head against the wall with that.
But you know what happens though? If it's just a seed, and so you just say, but what if you? How would you feel if you just become healthier? What about how would you feel by the end of this year if you were just like that, super strong and healthy? Like how good would you feel? How good would you feel? You know,
and not put limits on yourself to start, which is what most people will do. It seems to be a natural thing with people. Oh no, I've got a bad knee, or they hit you with, oh, that's all right for you. Yeah. You know, but like, wow, I'm just a normal dude. Yeah. Like,
oh, well, you know, that's pushing things a bit.
No, but in the end, you know, like,
no, I know what you're saying, mate. I know
what you're saying. In regards to training, and like, I've always had an interest in yoga and training and what I can do, and I've always been able to do it, and I still can do most things, but I know my limits. But you know, like even doing the 75 hard and being aware of that, wow, I can read and get something, I can concentrate on a book. You've just got to do the action, don't you? And once you do the action, you realise what's going down. That's why I was saying how you enhance your default.
Yeah.
Even though you haven't changed your default really, but you've realised...
You've added to it. You've added possibilities.
You've made yourself realise, oh, wow, I can get something out of that.
Yeah. So your free will can go back to it and say, listen, Craig, you know you did it. You did 75 days in a row of doing something.
Yeah.
You know that you can do it. So why not just do that little bit? Why not do that little tiny thing that you need to do?
Why not do it each night? And then your confidence grows again, and wow, next thing you're just pumping out book after book and like getting your brain conditioned. Yeah. It's like meditation, isn't it? You know, like you get yourself into a state where you can clear your mind and not be confused, and you can focus better on things and just get rid of all the crap that's out there.
Yeah.
Or in there.
In there.
But most people are skeptical on that.
Yeah.
And they haven't even tried it.
The only reason why people are skeptical, because you've got to think, so what happens is, right, say I'm going to go and talk to you about something and you've never experienced it and you've never heard it before. So your mind has to go through all your filing cabinet to see, as the person's talking, your mind is thinking, going through your filing cabinet to see if you've had that experience or if you've heard it before, or somebody else has said, no, that's rubbish. Like that's what might be in your filing system. So automatically you are just going to use what's in your filing system to, so it's not really, it's not like they're not open to it as such. It's just because they haven't had that filing cabinet. They haven't got anything to compare it to.
Yeah, to relate to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in saying that, they still have to want to become better, and I think that's the first step, isn't it? You got to want the best for yourself.
Yeah.
And this is what one of our values is, isn't it?
Yeah.
Integrity.
Well, yeah.
You want to be integrity.
Yeah.
And then you want to be honourable. You only do to other people what you want to do for yourself. And so if you're not great, well, then you don't expect anyone around you to be great.
No, well, it's like the old saying, isn't it? You get back what you put in.
Yeah.
So.
And if you want to be strength, you need to want it.
Oh,
don't you?
Yeah. Well, if you don't want something, you're never going to go for it, are you?
Yeah.
Really. So.
And to be quite frank, really, we can't help them people. Some people, maybe,
Well, maybe like we were saying, there's just some people that aren't ready for it at the time.
Yeah, and maybe they have to come and do a couple more cycles. Like I was just saying about all the things. But maybe they've got to come and do a couple more cycles.
Yeah, until they are ready.
Yeah.
Well, it was like the 75 hard. You weren't ready at 75 days.
Yeah.
So you had to, it was only another 19 or 20 days.
Yeah.
But it was the same thing. You weren't ready to finish, so it had to take you a bit longer.
So that would be the same thing of if this reincarnation thing is real and you're coming through, you might have to do 2 or 3 more.
Couple of laps.
You might have to go back and do the 2,000 years again.
Well, it's like training for a footy team, isn't it? You know, like you're not going to get on the running squad unless you're ready to go, unless you're match fit and everything. And otherwise you go do a few more laps and get yourself up to scratch.
Yeah.
And then you can make the team.
Yeah. So so that's our mission though, isn't it? Our mission is for people to realise that, to start to research what's going on in the world. I mean, we're going to be talking about it in the podcast moving forward. It's going to be we're going to do like a series because I've got all the research and all the things, because you can say, oh yeah, what's going on? And it's easy to, when you hear something new, don't just disregard it and say conspiracy. Because conspiracy is an invented word for you to shut something off. So what you do, you just create a new folder in the new filing system and just put it aside and say that I may need that into the future. or I'll look at that into the future, and don't just go, just shut it off.
Yeah.
Don't shut anything off.
Once you shut it off, it's gone.
Yeah, and then you shut that whole side of you off, so that your whole thinking, you're back to box again.
Yeah.
So
Which
that's
is
how
what we were talking about before. You got to have a bit of, we were saying open-mindedness or whatever, but don't disregard anything. But and like you said about the research too, it depends where you do your research, because a lot of the research most people would just get from the 6 o'clock news or mainstream media or whatever.
And bias. We spoke about that too before, didn't we? Say bias researching.
Bias research.
So what were you saying about when you were fasting? What was that again with when you're researching?
Oh yeah, when I was getting into the fasting, I was just looking for information on the internet that supported me doing the fasting, and if anything was negate about the fasting, then I'd just quickly go over it.
Yeah.
But I was just looking for reinforcement that
to support your view.
To support my view at the time that fasting was the way to go.
Yeah.
But that was just...
But that's not research. That's
not really research.
Yeah,
that was sort of closed-mindedness, because I'd already decided that was what I was going to do.
You were just looking for confirmation.
I was just looking for a bit of support, a bit of confirmation, exactly.
And the same thing when I was going plant-based, I looked for confirmation that was going to be good.
Yeah.
Like I didn't look at all the other people that are on there saying that how bad it is.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
But that's what we do. We throw ourselves into things, and if they work... And
so what would be the idea, though? The idea would be to look at both sides, wouldn't it?
Yeah, well, exactly.
So you get a whole list of
positive,
and then a whole list of negatives.
Pros and cons.
Pros and cons. Pros and cons.
Pros and cons, and then you make your decision from that. But sometimes your decision is already made, and it's so strong, you're just going to go anyway.
Yeah.
Well, that's the personality that I've got, where it's obsessed. A lot of people would call it obsessive.
Yeah.
But you quickly find out. Your body will soon tell you, "Oh no, dude, this is not for you."
Yeah. But in regards to what's happening in the world, like if we go back to that again, if regards to what's going on in the world, like we need to look at all sides. We need to look at non-propaganda media, and propaganda media. You need to look at both sides and say, and then look at your own life, and then you sort of compare it and say, do I see this in reality around me? Is this actually happening?
Yeah.
Is this what they're saying? Is that true?
Yeah.
And see if that actually makes sense.
Yeah.
And then to say that, no, actually what they're saying is not making sense. That's not, and say, is it, and then you sort of look at the other research and then you've got to say, well, why are they doing that? And then you've got to look at what's their outcome. So what outcome are they looking out for me? And then you go, hang on a minute. No, I'm not going to accept that outcome. And so then you need to go on that other journey and the mission. And that leads us into having a plan to go to, doesn't it?
Yeah, but it's got to be a pretty big plan.
It's got to be a big plan. And this is why we're saying about you need to be self-empowered and limitless and to have values and strength and all these things. Because if we're going to be going out of this slave system into the new world, we need to have those things. And there is a perfect analogy, well, not a really analogy, but an example that what happened in South Africa with Nelson Mandela, how he spent his whole life fighting for South Africa. He spent 27 years in hard labouring. Imagine what that guy went through to get to stop the slave mentality, in South Africa, to change it over to whatever he wanted, his vision of South Africa. So he did that. So he got enough momentum together for the whole of South Africa to rise up, and they did that. They overtook and took over and created the new South Africa, say. But the thing is, they didn't have a plan to go to. And so if you go to South Africa now, it's probably one of the most, not all of South Africa, but the main cities, I would say, a lot of them are the most dangerous places on earth.
Right.
And when you go there, they've got 6-foot fences with rolled barbed wire on the top like a prison. And then they've got compounds in that. And then they've got safe compounds within that. Because we've been taught to believe that evil and good is a race of people.
Right.
But it's not. Evil doesn't matter. It comes in all races and all colours of people. It comes in all races and all colours. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so what happened was he overtook and didn't have the plan to go to. And so the evil was still there. And so the evil
just transferred.
It just transferred over and then over into the Africans that are there now. I'm trying not to say.
Yeah.
But because we're not allowed to say black or white, but
yeah.
Which is, well, I don't know how else to say it, but so now it's the most, because evil doesn't care. Evil does not care about what race, colour,
it'll
creed.
just take hold of whatever.
It just takes over.
Yeah.
And this is like gangs, like a gang on a street. A gang doesn't care who's in the gang. They don't care about the colour of the person in the gang. They just care about there being the gang. And so if you're mean, if it's say a mean gang, if you're a mean and angry person, mate, you're straight into the gang. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
And so we have to have, we need the plan to go to. That's the thing. And that's why we're creating like the Freedom Network, is to give people their own power to realise that they have got all this power and they have important part as a collective, as a whole, to become enlightened and to remove the evilness.
Yeah. Well, and the control, isn't it?
Yeah.
We can create our own destiny.
And
instead of being ruled by somebody else's ideal.
Yeah. Yeah. And so, so anyway, that's sort of what our mission is. That's what the Freedom Network is for. And there is a bit of a cost to it, but if you want a future for your children and your children's children,
we got to make some big decisions.
We have to start making the decisions.
Yeah.
And say I am totally wrong. Say all this research and everything that I've done to say what's coming is totally wrong. And what downside is there?
Yeah, we've still improved ourselves, haven't we?
What downside is there to have a strong value system within yourself and a strong purpose and mission?
Yeah, exactly.
What is downside? Could there be?
Yeah.
Zero.
Yeah.
Zero. There is zero downside in you becoming
the best version of yourself, virtually, isn't it?
The best.
Yeah.
And if someone says to you, have you got a purpose? Yeah, I have.
Yeah.
I have got a purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah,
because in the end, they can take rights and all that away from you, but they can't take your mind or your free will.
No.
So only you.
Well, they can take that. No, that's not correct. They can take your mind and your free will by control, because you can't have free will and mind.
Oh, if you're controlled.
Once you're controlled.
Yeah.
Like if the FEB get their way, the new world that we're going to be living in, we won't have a free mind and control and free will to do what as we see it today.
Yeah.
As we see it today, it won't be.
Yeah.
It won't. Even though we've lost a lot of freedoms over the last few years, it's going to be 100 times worse.
That was just a training ground.
This is just I say.
So we're going through a transitional phase at the moment to the big show.
The big show's coming, and it's going to come very fast at the end.
Yeah.
And we need to be strength. Like we need a lot of people that are going to have strong minds and to be able to help the people, because those other people that aren't ready, they're probably going to suffer the worst. Because the people with a strong mind already know what's coming and they know how they're going to be able to deal with it.
They're getting prepared.
Yeah.
They've got their plan coming. So like, it's heading, what do you think it's heading in the direction that they're going to bust the economy and we're going to be begging for their help in regards to a digital economy, or is that what you're foreseeing?
Well, yeah, 100%. That's what we've been talking about. And, well, the first thing what they do is to make you unwell. And so you've only got to look at America. America's like a perfect example. The richest and most powerful country on earth, the richest and most powerful, and their life expectancy is going down. Every year it's going down.
Right.
Well, you think about that. The richest and most powerful, they can do anything they want, but their life expectancy is going down. Why? Because they have been herded into a belief system. And if you say if their health has been herded into this system. Anyway, so it's such a big topic, and I think that what we'll do is we'll have to continue into the next podcast. We're going to create a whole new series of this podcast, and so mate, look for the next one. It'll be coming your way, and remember to, if you want to join us on this powerful mission, to come and follow us on all the channels and to be part of it. We really want you to be part of something strong, and thanks again for supporting us.